Hey guys, it's EJ the Puzzle Cuber, and today I'm going to be going over PLL finger tricks. I'm going to be starting out with the H perm, and there will be timestamps in the description for each PLL. So for the H perm, the alg will be on screen. I prefer not to double flick because I think it's a bit more unstable and I'm more likely to drop the cube. For the UA perms, I could face it either this way or this way. I'm going to go over this way first. So here I do double flick with ring pinky, and then U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R. From this angle, I have a very similar execution. So I do R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, and then double flick like that. Sometimes I might use pinky ring instead of ring pinky. I'm not actually sure which one I use. For the Z perms, which is my least favorite EPLL, for both two-handed and one-handed, I go like this. Alright, next up I'm going to be doing the diag swap PLLs, going in alphabetical order. So I'm going to be starting with the E perm. Now there are multiple algorithms that I use for this. Over here I might face it like this and just do R2 single flick, U, R prime, U prime, triple sexy, except you do not do the last U prime. You rotate back R, U prime, R2, and here I could actually double flip. Sometimes I just use the normal algorithm, but I don't like how there's a D prime. I'll have to use my ring finger, and then I could just finish off the algorithm the same way. Now here I'd rather do a small U prime because it's easier than doing a D prime, and also it's easier to do AUF, just doing R moves. Sometimes I use this alternate algorithm that starts out the same, except here I do a small U2. And then I do R prime U R D, R prime U prime R. And the finger tricks are pretty much self-explanatory. For the N perms, this is actually quite easy to do. So for two-handed, we would do R U R prime U and then do the J perm. And then after that, insert in this pair. Basically undoing the setup moves. So for one-handed, we could actually use the OHJB perm. So we do RU R prime U, and then after the J perm, and then after undo the setup. This is one of the worst PLLs to get in OH, in my opinion, but we just have to deal with it. So for the R prime, I would not actually go like this. I actually prefer to do it using this finger trick, because my next move is going to be a U, so I could go like that. And also, I do this kind of like a Z rotation, like that. And then after I just finish off the alg here, I kind of rotate back. And then for the L move, I use this U finger trick. Here, I sometimes double flick, but I usually feel uncomfortable. Usually, I just go single flick, and then after that, kind of finish it off like that. Here's another really bad PLL to get. It's a V perm, and I use this algorithm. And then here, this is a really bad part. Just do Z or Z. And also for here, I just use my fourth finger, then RU prime. For the Y perms, I actually use 3 algorithms, mainly 2, and then I'm kind of getting introduced to this new one. So of course I use a normal one, and for the F primes I just go. And then after that there's also this other algorithm, which is also okay, but I don't like how it starts out. It's like this. It's not very suitable for OH, but the rest of the algorithm flows well. And here, same F prime. And And here's the last way to do it, and this is a new way. And I like this because it's RUL. So it's just taking out the back pair and then putting it here, and you just do a J perm. As it sets up, you could see these two swap. And then after that, I just insert it back in. For the A perms, I pretty much just use the normal algorithm. So I do R prime, U, and then here I do R prime like this. And then D2 I do double flick, like that, RU prime, R prime. And then after that, D2, double flick. And then after that, R2. The other A perm is pretty much the same. So I do R2, D2, RU, R prime, D2, RU prime, R. For the F permutation, I face this way. So I do sexy move. And then after that, I do R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And then I do the Z. And then U prime, R, and then Z prime, R, U prime. And then here I do kind of like a small R, X prime, kind of like an L move. And then after that, U prime, insert. For the G perms, I use both the RUD and the wide U. So for this one, GA, I could go like this. And also I like single flicking here because the next few moves is going to be a lot smoother. Because if I did double flick, then it's not as easy to do the U afterwards. So I usually prefer to do single flick, like that. And then after that, I just finish off the algorithm. Sometimes I don't do this. I actually use small U prime. The reason why I would actually use the wide U is because it's actually fewer moves. So here I could actually double flick because it's not as big of a deal. R2, small U, R prime U, R prime U prime R, small U prime R2, rotate, insert. For GB perm though, I don't really like doing the RUD because I don't like this part of the algorithm. So I prefer to just use the Y move. So I do R prime U prime R, rotate, R2 small U, R prime U, R U prime R U prime, R2. For the GC perms, however, I always use the RUD because I find it a lot faster. So like single flick, U prime, R, U prime, R, U, R prime, U, R2. And then here I do use this finger trick because it kind of flows easily into the next part and the last part of the algorithm. So I use the RUD. And for the GD, I just use RUD, except I do the D prime first, so I wouldn't have to worry about it later. Once I get to this part, the rest of it is just RUgen, making it a lot easier to execute. For the JA perms, I just use the normal algorithm. Some of you might think that I would do the R prime and then rotate, but I usually do the rotation first to make the alg flow more smoothly. So it's kind of like a D prime with my fourth finger, R with my fourth finger. I don't know why. U prime and then double flick, and then here I rotate back, and then R U prime R prime U2 R R. And if there's AUF, then I would just kind of have to rotate up and do it. So for the JB perms, I usually use this algorithm. Actually, I always use it. Sometimes I would just do single flick, and sometimes I would do double flick. It just depends on the OLL. When it's in this exact AUF, then I would actually do an L first because it's going to make the rest of the L shorter. For the R perm, I use the RUD. And then here I use my fourth finger. And then R prime, U prime, R. And then this is the part that I really don't like because there aren't really any good finger tricks. I usually just use my fourth finger. I find that would be the best. And then R prime, U2, R prime. And I do it like this. And then after that U prime. I actually use the RUF one for the RB perm, which is actually kind of strange considering that I could do the RUD faster. So I'm just going to show both. And I do actually double flick there. And here I regrip. And I actually do execute it using that R prime. And then D prime, RU prime, R prime, fourth finger D, and then finish off the alg. Some people think that using this T perm is good, but I honestly don't like it, so I just use the regular one. It's kind of self-explanatory. So that's about it for my OHPLL algorithms and finger tricks tutorial. Make sure that you leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. The reason why I would actually use the wide U is because it's actually fewer moves. So here I could actually double flick because it's not as big of a deal. And then here I might do R prime like this. U prime, R, U prime, R, small U prime, R,